What's going on, people? It's your boy Calwu, and welcome to the fifth part of planetwu's anime awards show for 2022. Appreciate y'all for coming and rocking with us. So we're gonna dive right in. As always, I'm reading mine's and G Money's list, and we're gonna start with G Money's this time. Worst anime. G Money has Renee Flops as the worst anime of 2022. Just specifically for the ending and the plot twist that they had in it, which was terrible. G Money simply says he can't see himself watching it again. It was so bad in a catastrophe with what they did with that end plot that it ruined a otherwise decent show. And yeah, man, it was just, and I'm gonna echo that junk was god awful. Made me turn it from something enjoyable to them revealing that plot twist probably like 3-4 episodes before the last episode, and it really made me not even want to watch it anymore. I watched it just to complete it because I'm a completionist at this point, but I really didn't want to complete it. I was pissed. But for me, worst anime of 2022 was easily Rusted Armor. The CGI animation for it was awful. The character dynamics were awful. The plot to the story was very, very basic bitch, and it was bad. It wasn't even done really well. I just didn't enjoy it. Watching the anime felt like a chore. I struggled to watch it to its completion, and I overall did not enjoy it. I would not refer this anime to nobody, not even my worst enemy. It is that awful. Funniest moment. G Money chose the Green Ranger's PTSD from Love After World Domination. Pretty much Daigo's torment as he recalls practicing his martial arts with Desumi. G Money just was pretty much brought to laughter watching it, and that's why he chose that as his biggest or his funniest moment. Because she pretty much was like earnestly believed that she was holding back, and that he was doing a good job of training under his tutelage, and he just felt like just those flashbacks in that moment was just so funny on how ridiculous it was, that it brought him to tears. For me, funniest moment, I struggled with choosing for this. I had a couple. But I ultimately settled for Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. In the very last episode, there was a moment after they won and they had beat the final boss. There was a Wolfang Fist moment. For those that don't understand the Wolfang Fist moment, it is a moment of doing a feint. So you say one thing and then you do the complete opposite. There was a fight between the main character, Yuhi, and Mikazuki. Yuhi is the Lizard Knight, and Mikazuki is the Crow Knight. And after they fought, they was like, look, we just gonna do one last spar. We just gonna go all out on each other, and whoever wins is the greatest. So they're fighting or whatever, and Yuhi gets his glasses broke, so he jumps back and he's like, all right, this is the last thing. We just gonna go all out on this last charge. So he charges at him like, wallflower jealousy punch. And then Mikazuki goes, ha ha ha, popular bastard's judgment punch. And then right when they about to meet, he throws a kick and kicks Yuhi right, like Yuhi just plants right with a foot to his face and falls over, is knocked out. And Mikazuki is like, yes, I'm the winner. I'm the champ. I'm the greatest. I'm the best. And these dudes pretty much was fighting over days. And they even went and like the other knights that survived pretty much looking on, they like, man, he beat the main character. Wow, he was just steps ahead. And that moment made me laugh every single time. Because I remember Yamcha going Wolfang Fist and then throwing these combos and then ending it with a kick and kicking you in the face. And I love that. So, and that moment made me laugh every single time I see it. So I had to choose that as my funniest moment. Next category is saddest moment. If you haven't seen Akiba Maid, I'll leave a timestamp for you to skip this part, because it's a spoiler. Ranko's death is what G Money chose. That was one of his favorite characters. She had a very stoic demeanor. You know what I'm saying, was in her 30s, so she was considered like a washout for you know, maids working in the cafe, and she always had everybody's back. And you know, he considered her as one of his waifu contenders, and then for her to just be stabbed in the back and then just bleed out just out of nowhere, especially after we came to a moment in the series where we had a conflict resolution and everything was good, and they killed her in a very like happy moment. They killed her, and that hurt G. You know what I'm saying? G Money was very hurt by that moment, so that's why he chose that as his saddest moment. For me, my saddest moment comes for Police in a Box, or Police in a Pod, I should say, where they had a scene blocked off where there was an accident and a baby died in a car accident, and that's just seeing kids just die. Period is it hits close to home because I have a young son, and so that made me really, really extremely sad watching that moment, especially in an anime that's a very like happy-go-lucky, upbeat style anime, and for them to have this very, very sad moment and it crushed me. Next category, best moment. G Money's best moment comes from Eminence in the Shadow. He chose the fake atomic as his best moment. He just feel like throughout the anime, one of the best phrases is "I am atomic," and you know every time you heard it, it meant certain doom. Whenever the adversaries hear it, you know it meant certain doom. They were gonna die, and then for him to lead up to this moment and then fake it, he felt like it was a Giga Chad, excuse me, a Giga Chad moment where it's like, I'm gonna show you how big my penis is, and then not perform type moment. And he just felt it was hilarious, especially for the fact that he was fighting two of the strongest swords fighter in the series, and then led to that casting. It was a moment of hopelessness, and then it was just kind of like you hear it, and then nothing happens, and it just leave rainbows and sunshine, and he just felt like that was glorious, watching him bring two people to their knees for absolutely no reason at all, because there was no payoff except for them sitting there looking stupid at the end, and he just felt that moment was glorious. For me, best moment, I had a couple in there. 24th Ward, friends just feeling like they need to scrap it out because they couldn't come to terms with words, is a very manly, masculine moment, and I just enjoyed watching them throw hands like that. And then the other one was Miss Sachiko's little baby ghost, where the ghost was her like cute little CEO assistant, but they both ultimately lost to Spy Family rescuing Princess Anya. Just that whole moment of that scene of her being captured and him having to play Spy-Man and rescue her and fighting Yor, just that moment of that scene is probably one of my favorite moments. Actually, it is my favorite moment, and that's why it won best moment of 2022, because that whole sequence was just bananas from start to finish, and it was just enjoyable overall. Best anime short, so anime that just only got episodes or just minutes. G Money chose Dummy Head, which is a ASMR anime that they actually suggest you put on headphones while you're watching it. It's a silly little isekai because the main character pretty much get transported into different ASMR pieces of equipment. First, it's like a head that got like when you got headsets on, when you're using it, you like Q-tip the ear and you can like hear it in the headphones, and then just little microphones and a bike seat. It just was weird as hell. It was very silly, but it's an ASMR anime, and G Money just enjoyed it. He thought it was hilarious. For me, my best anime short is it was a rough one. It was between Zero's Tea Time and Eternal Boys, and Eternal Boys actually won. Just the concept to me alone is hilarious. You got a middle-aged boy band or boy group. So just that off rip, boy groups normally form at a young age, and then once they get to a certain age, they kind of like all go their separate ways, or it kind of fizzles out. And this one, these dudes are like in their like late 20s, early 30s, early, or in between, like pretty much between I'll just say early 30s to late 30s or early 40s is where most of the members fall in between. And then they're put together to make this boy group, and just to watch them grow as a group, going through all the scandals that they go through, learning how to work as a team, creating songs, learning choreography. It was just enjoyable, and I loved every moment of it. Best fall anime. G Money, just this section is littered with this anime. He once again chose Eminence in the Shadows as his best fall anime. He chose it because it was his second favorite isekai. And he's just a huge fan of a comedy anime. He just felt like the main character's style and delivery style was very unique. It was funny, especially how he went from like, I'm this OP guy, to in secret and I run this organization, to in public is, I'm very weak, I'm super trash, and I get beat on at every given moment. And he sets himself up to do it, and G Money just loved it. Best fall anime for me, I couldn't decide, so I got two. It was between Raven of the Inner Palace and Shinobi no Itoki. The reason I chose Raven of the Inner Palace, because I love historical pieces that kind of give like a supernatural feel, and that's what it did. I loved the Raven's story based on like, where she came from, how she became the Raven, what the Raven actually is, the backstory behind that, the story with the previous Raven, and then how she is, how she falls in line with being one of the current king's consort, and how like people don't really care for this new king, and then how she interact with the other consorts, and how she's not the normal consort, so she don't perform any like bedtime favors as a consort normally does. And I just loved her interaction with the king. It was just dope for me. And Shinobi no Itoki, I love the realistic and up-to-date instances that they give us of new age shinobi or ninja in like current times. And I just loved how the different families interacted, and how one family just wanted to get rid of all the peace and start war again, and just how everything kind of folded, the plot, the background, the main character finding out that he comes from a ninja family, not knowing, period, not until his mother died, and just how they just gave, or not before his mother died, but until his mother was in trouble and his life was in danger and he got rescued, and just how they just put all of that stuff together just was so good to me that I could not, it would be egregious for me to have just chosen one and left that one off the list. I had to put both on the list. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Like I said before, planetwu.com, come holla at us. We bringing Throne of Nerds back this year. If you're interested, it is a anime game show. I'll put the link for it in the channel, because we done previous episodes before. We're bringing it back out. We want to get to, by the end of the year, pretty much getting to the grand finals by the end of the year, which we will be giving out a cash prize right before Christmas. So we want to get this done and get it out of there. We got, I want to say about 10 or 15 episodes that needs to be done before then. So if you're interested in participating, it's completely free to participate. All you got to do is just go to planetwu.com to sign up. I'll put the link for that below. You got any anime suggestions that you want us to do videos on as far as reviews go, let us know in the comment section below. And also, any of these categories, put what you felt and what you thought that fit these categories for you down in the comment section below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, this is Cal Wu. On behalf of my man's G Money from Planet Wu, we are signing off. Peace.
Ironic.